Hello and welcome to Sarge's Custom Tutorials. Today we're going to be looking through my mostly custom Conan collection, and I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to make this Masters of the Universe Masterverse Conan custom, which just quickly is the upper body is the Savage He-man, and the lower body is from just the regular initial release He-man, but there are multiple He-Man figures that you can make. The thing that's the kind of makes the big difference is the broader shoulders on the Savage He-man, but you can use, as you'll see, you can use the lower legs from a different, multiple different He-Man, including the Savage one if you want bare feet Conan. First, I'm going to kind of set him aside, and I'll go through my other custom Conan figures, starting with this. This guy back here is essentially the same figure as this Conan here. Upper body from Savage He-man, armor and loincloth from and lower body from the regular release He-man. I got the clamshell and the card from a seller on eBay. The weapons are from McFarlane figure, but I can't remember which. This is again Savage He-man upper body. This is the regular release He-man head, and the lower body is from the Viking He-man. Coming back here, sticking with the Masterverse bodies, I have the this is the lower body of the Savage He-man with the upper body from the regular release He-man. You can see, if you look at the two of them kind of next to each other, you can see kind of the difference in how broad the shoulders are. This is kind of my young thief Conan, basically. This is my Mythic Legions Conan, which this is just a this is one of the heads that came with the Viking He-man. Painted the head black, or painted the hair black, and I ground out the inside of the head so that it would fit on the larger ball. And this is just a kit bash of the Gladiator and Barbarian bodies. Over here we have my NECA Conan, which I made in a previous video. Click the link in the corner or in the description below to see that tutorial. It's a Marvel Legends Sentry head on the NECA retro carded Ming the Merciless body. And here we have a classic. We have the Toy Biz Legendary Comic Book Heroes, which I've customized slightly. Just well, actually, this is where the weapons from him come from. This is the axe and the sword from this action figure. And I painted the loincloth brown from green and a little bit of the silver up there. But I also added this base, which I think, I believe this base is from one of the original Toy Biz Thor or Loki Marvel Legends figures. But if you look at this, here, there's the Atlantean sword. There's Conan's father's sword. This is Thorgrim's hammer. And then you have Rexor's helmet. And I believe that's Rexor's axe. I'm not sure. I know that's an axe from Conan, but I don't know if it's his axe. I think his axe has another blade coming out the other side. And then you have what could be, a frost giant. So I have him sitting on this guy because I think it looks pretty awesome. And it's got all the other Conan stuff. And it's not officially a Conan yet, but this is just a custom Marvel Legends kind of barbarian I have using. This is the Hercules body with the MCU Ragnarok Thor head, which I think looks pretty great. But I was thinking about getting a Arnold Schwarzenegger Conan the Barbarian head. I think it would look pretty good on this particular body. I think I've seen a custom of it online actually before with that on that body, and it worked pretty well. So starting off with our Savage He-man body. I don't have another standard He-man body, so I can't swap the legs, but I'll show you how to take off the loincloth and pull the legs off and pull the hair off of the head. And that'll kind of get you mostly there as far as you can, once the hair is off the head, you can paint the hair, you can swap the legs and swap the loincloths, and you have a pretty good looking Conan. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to warm up the hair with a heat gun and pull it off. Now, I've done this obviously a few times. What I can definitely tell you is that the hair is really hit or miss with how much glue they use. The first one I did was just a tiny dab of glue on the back of it, and it came right off and it was easy. And one of the other ones that I did, it was really on there and it did not want to come off. So use a lot of heat, go slow, tear a little bit at a time, and as I'm tearing, I'm going to kind of work my way around the whole piece, tearing a little bit at a time. I'm not just going to grab one side and yank. Alright, I've warmed up the hair. As you can see, it's pretty soft, and it will kind of bend the head around a little bit as I'm tearing it off, but that's okay. It's not going to hurt it. Once you heat it up, it'll go back into shape. And I can tell right now, just by looking at this, it's got a pretty good amount of glue on it. And the reason I remove the hair is just then you can paint the underside of it. It's going to look a whole lot better than just trying to paint the outside, or if you did try to like squeeze paint under his bangs here, you're definitely going to get it on his head. So I've got it kind of around the back here. Now for the top of his head, it's really on there, so I'm going to actually heat it up again. Get some more heat on the top of the head and see if that helps. Okay, I added a little bit more heat. Yeah, it's much more flexible now. And I'm kind of starting off where I have it torn away already and working from that side and just trying to go a little bit at a time. Right there. You kind of see when it kind of pops away. Yeah, there we go. Bam. Perfect. As you can see, the head's still in really good condition. And now the hair is much easier to paint. You can I use acrylic paint, Tamiya Acrylics flat paint, and just do some flat black on there. If you want to do like a little bit of a gloss coat on it afterwards to give it a little shine on hair, usually has a bit of shine, but just makes it 10 times easier to paint hair if you remove the head. And then once you warm it up, you can kind of see inside there's like a T that fits right into the back of the head, so when you warm it up, you just kind of stick all that back in there and it's good to go. And honestly, I mean, it holds on like that. You don't even have to really glue it back on. That way, if you have to do any touch-ups later, you can pop it off real quick, but I will typically glue them back on. Okay, so the next step I'm going to show you is removing the loincloth. Now, unfortunately, with these Mattel figures, they use hard plastic for the body parts, the crotch, the mid-torso, and the upper torso. So the only way to get the loincloth off without cutting it would be to crack it open, but I don't really like doing that. I think it tends to cause more damage. This I'm going to cut off. So this piece isn't just on the outside, it's actually a flat piece that goes all the way to the inside, to the peg between the two body parts. You can see it's all the way in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a blade and cut at the thinnest point here on the side, where from right there to there, and then cut as far into there as I can, and then just tear it off essentially. So I'm going to cut starting right here because it's the thinnest spot from here to there. that. And then, since it goes all the way in there, I'm going to use this and basically just kind of push it in and try to cut as much of that as I can. Cut just the top part of it. I'm going to cut the bottom as well. And there you go. And it pops right off. So you can see kind of how wide it is there. It's not too wide. And then on the He-man figures with the actual belts, I did the same thing. But these are actually two different pieces. You can see with these ones, it's actually two separate pieces. It's a loincloth and it's the metal belt. And this is how it's been on this Viking release and on the regular release. These are two separate pieces, but you cut through them the same way. Find the thinnest spot, cut all the way into the middle, and it pops right off. And then you can, all the torso pieces so far that I have seen are all the same, on the male bodies at least, so you can just pop it on there, switch it onto any one you want, and there you go. The next thing to do is to warm up the hips. This here is a soft plastic just like the rest of the leg. This is a hard plastic. So you can warm these legs up and they will come right off of the ball that's in there. Let's see. It's just a regular T-ball setup. You can warm these up and they will come right off of that ball. And then that's how you swap this leg with that leg on the other He-man to give him the boots. You could, well, actually I don't think it is exact. If you pop off the lower leg here and try to put a boot on him, I think there's a gap, because in order to make the Savage He-man taller, this piece here in particular is longer than the piece on the regular He-man. You can see there how much bigger it is. And what I did with this one, you can see here, I actually trimmed this one. Like, actually, I think I can, yeah, there you go. So the lower legs are the same, but I did make a cut with a razor blade around the lower calf area, and I used a Dremel to kind of trim that up. And then I used that Dremel to dig the hole into his calf deeper so that his legs would actually be a kind of more appropriate length for his body. So that's a more complicated change, but basically what I'm going to do now is heat up the legs and show you how they pop off. It's real simple. Okay, so I warmed up the legs, and as you can see, it pops right off there. And there you go. The skin tone is a little bit different on the Savage He-man and the standard release He-man. The skin tone's a little bit more yellow, and it doesn't have, they did like a wash on the Savage He-man. And so what I did was basically try to match that wash with like a red-brown wash. And so that'll get you most of the way there. Swapping the legs. Took a pretty good amount of heat with a heat gun. Probably have to warm them back up to get them back on. One thing I didn't mention is the necklaces that I have on here. So this guy is from the Marvel Legends Kraven the Hunter. And then these ones here and here are the same. So this is just bendy wire, and these are beads that my wife happened to have. They're kind of like decorative beads that fit onto the wire and make a little Conan necklace. And then this one on my younger Conan is from the Savage Crucible Kickstarter line. The armor pieces you see on the forearms here, the arms are complete reuse. So you just take the hand off, here, and it fits right on there. Same arms. So swapping the armor from the other He-Man figures is pretty easy. And that's about it for my Conan collection. I was waiting on hopefully a Vicor to be released to modify with this Savage He-Man. Having him with this upper body, if they don't already give it to him, would be a pretty cool looking Conan custom as well. Let me know in the comments if you have any other ideas for Conan customs that you've made. I haven't got my hands on a Mezco Conan just yet. I am planning on ordering the Frazetta Girls Conan once it releases. Let me know if there's any bodies out there that I've missed that make a good Conan custom. I know the new Marvel Legends Kazar is pretty much like perfectly set up for a custom, but I think he's a bit small. I might get him just to have it. Can never have enough Conan figures, but anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let me know how I can make these videos more informative or enjoyable in the future. And thanks again for watching Sarge's Custom Tutorials.